Now, encrypted messaging app Signal has been reporting massive surge in new users over concerns following a change in WhatsApp's privacy policy terms. Now, with millions of users flocking to Signal, the messaging app developed snags over the weekend. Now, Signal says that it had restored its services after the application faced technical glitches and difficulties there as it dealt with a flood of new users. Signal says that it was adding new servers and extra capacity at record pace to keep up with the surge in addition of new users. Signal has seen a rise in downloads following a change in WhatsApp's privacy policy terms, which required WhatsApp users to share their data with both Facebook and Instagram. However, in wake of massive concerns among users, WhatsApp decided now to postpone its policy update. Now let's quickly cut across. Joining us live, Aruna Harder, Chief Operating Officer of Signal, to give us a perspective on why Signal. Is Signal safe enough? Good speaking to you, Aruna. Signal has become the hottest property in the encrypted messaging space today. What is your secret sauce? In fact, we're looking at a surge in Signal. Number of downloads have increased. What really makes Signal tick here? Your magic formula.
Yeah, people care about their privacy. They always have. I think people generally dislike the idea of their personal conversations and online activities being used to target them. Ultimately, we all want to feel safe in how we communicate, and I believe Signal does that better than anyone else. Seeing how the world is collectively turning to Signal after WhatsApp's announcement is proof of that. With Signal, there are no ads, there's no data, no trackers. We simply can't sell what we don't have.
Great. Now, you've topped the App Store's charts as well in so many regions, including India and the United States. So what is your own realistic assessment of this success here? Is it driven by the recent social media frenzy and the news cycle, or do you see this as a permanent phenomenon?
There is certainly a surge right now in signups because people are finding out there's an alternative to WhatsApp. And we do expect to see this elevated level of signups continue. And we have been scaling our infrastructure to support this new level of growth. Now that people know there's this alternative to WhatsApp that delivers the utility they need, will never sell their data or invade their privacy, we will see even more people coming over from WhatsApp to Signal.
Now, give us your India story here. Do you anticipate such kind of reception in India? And most importantly, what are your future plans in India, for India?
Yeah, India has been a focus for Signal for many years. We know India has always been at the forefront of adopting new technology. And looking back in 2019, we ramped up efforts to localize the product into more Indian languages. We're now up to 10, including Hindi, Tamil, Bengali. And at the same time, we're actively scaling our service to better serve India and accommodate the growth we're seeing worldwide. We're also closely watching the feedback coming in from all over India, and we're taking that input into account as we work through our product roadmap. Here at Signal, we are all so excited by the recent surge of interest and support from India. And on a personal level, my parents are from Tamil Nadu, and so personally, I want to see Signal become India's favorite messaging app.
All right. What are the core differences, if you can highlight, Aruna, between Signal, WhatsApp and Telegram? We're looking at some details on the actual difference. Give us some clarity.
Yes, in contrast to the others, Signal does not collect any analytics, does not sell ads. It's a place to connect with your friends, family, and colleagues in an authentic and safe way. And only Signal is structured as a nonprofit. We can never be bought. There are no investors that we ever have to answer to. This frees us to focus on the mission of protecting user privacy and delivering a great user experience.
All right, some technical phrases there, like end-to-end encryption, open source app, those come up quite often, frequently in discussions these days. Now, for a common person watching this show, who may not be a tech geek here, but gets equally affected by the technology, can you explain how you handle their personal information when they choose to use Signal?
You know, yes, the jargon can sometimes get in the way. It's very simple, really. Signal is designed to deliver messages and calls using the minimum information required. Your messages are protected while they're in transit and at rest. That's the end-to-end encryption part. And then once delivered, those messages only live on your phone and that of the recipient. Signal does not collect any data or have any trackers in the app. All of your messages and calls and the related information are protected from anyone seeing them other than you and the other person or people in your conversation.
All right, great. But we'd still like to know from you, what is your take on the recent debate and the ongoing controversy there? WhatsApp, such a successful journey, where do you think they went wrong?
I think it comes down to this. People care about their privacy, and when presented with the explicit choice of whether or not to share their personal data, they will choose to keep their data private. Now, with WhatsApp's change to its terms of service, this reminds people that Facebook is a for-profit company and that their personal data is valuable. The public is voting with their feet and moving to Signal because they do value what Signal stands for, privacy. We believe people are coming to Signal because they understand Signal is never going to track their data. We're never going to monetize their data in any way.
Well, sure enough, this is the promise that even WhatsApp made right at its inception itself, promising that data and your privacy will be upheld. But how do you assure that Signal eventually will not change? What assurance can you give that potential Signal users will have their data absolutely safe and all of it is efficient, reliable, and it is the best option now after WhatsApp? Why should people switch?
We are delivering billions of messages every day, and we're scaling our service to meet this continued increase. I will say privacy is at the heart of everything we do, and the reason Signal appeals to millions of people. As a nonprofit, we can't be bought. Our commitment to privacy will never change, no matter how big Signal gets.
All right. But what's interesting here, Aruna, is that you are a non-profit organization. How do you really plan to sustain this platform? What's your business model, really?
As a nonprofit, we are unique in the industry, and we are grateful for the donations and support that we've received over the years and that are pouring in now. From what we're seeing, we're confident that millions of people will value privacy enough to sustain it. Being a nonprofit, it frees us from the traditional pressures of having to maximize profits, answer to investors. We simply need to break even. So that allows us to put even more focus on the privacy of our users and creating the best possible user experience for them.
All right. Now, you work across countries governing different regulations there. What role do you see for government regulations in the matters of data privacy? In your opinion, how should an ideal regulation mechanism really look like?
We understand that governments need to protect their citizens. This is a topic that certainly warrants deeper exploration and serious discussion. At Signal, we believe it's our responsibility to protect the privacy of our users. And that's why Signal doesn't have analytics, doesn't track your data. We simply don't have access to the normal sorts of data that are tracked and shared. Signal will always be here to protect your privacy.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much for speaking to us, Aruna. You have it, Aruna Harder, the COO of Signal, giving us clarity on why must one switch to Signal and how safe is your data on Signal app. Thank you.